G'day guys, my name is Trent aka LaxLime, bringing you a week 3 of the PGL. We are up against T-Train and the Dragon Den Dratinis. As you can see, if you're a regular watcher, I've moved house. I'm in a different house, and this is the third time, second time I guess I've moved. So this is season 3, I guess I'm gonna use it. Season 1 was good, I uploaded a lot. Season 2, didn't upload at all, really, like once a week. Season 3 now, hopefully we'll see what happens. But anyway, because I was moving house, I was super busy, and I didn't prep my team very well. I'm first to admit that completely. I didn't prep my team well at all. And it showed. It definitely showed. Not like I struggled. Normally how I build a team, I generally will build a team that will do well against me. So I'll take my opponent's team, I build it, what I would use to beat me, and then I counter build to that. And then make sure there's enough coverage for all the other mons and stuff on the team, just in case. But I didn't really get a chance to do that. I threw a team together that I thought would work. Didn't really put as much effort as I normally would into building it. And it really, really showed. And I really, really struggled in this battle. T-Train, he did awesomely. He built a really good team, and like really well thought out team, and he really had a plan on what he wanted to do, and I applaud him for that. He really had my number. But anyway, I'll talk about it throughout the battle. We'll get into it, and yeah, we'll sort of go from there. But he does have the Mag Zone, the Latios, the Mega Latias. I get them always confused. P2, Mammoth Swine, Hypnon Top, I always forget, and Wheezing. So quite a defensive team. Pretty defensive team. Mammoth Swine, you know what? Mammoth Swine is good mon in League format. It's really, really good, and it works so well. It's just got a good coverage, and it hits like a tank. I am carrying the Menifee, the Euxie, Miss Magius, Klefki, Arcanine, and Heracross. Yeah, we'll just get in battle and we'll see how we go. I do end up making I make the lead off with Menifee. I thought that was my best option. And then he actually brings out his Magnezone. Now, the way he's brought this out, it pretty much tells me 100% that he's scarfed. You don't really lead off with a Magnezone, and I completely underestimated Magnezone. Completely. Magnezone is an actual real problem. And I've used Magnezone in Leaf format before, and I know what it can do. Like it's a really good mod. But he does end up going out into Donatello, his Mamoswine here, as I just go for a Reflect. I know I can survive a couple of Earthquakes if I do go for a Reflect. And he does end up going for the knockoff, which does lock off my Light Clay, which is a little annoying. And then I just obviously go for the second screen on the second turn. He does pull into his Magnezone here, and this is where I realized I have made one mistake. I forgot this thing has Magnet Pull, and now I can't switch out. I really should have thought of that, because now Klefki pretty much has to be sacked off, and I didn't actually bring any moves on Klefki that can hurt Magnezone. If I did think about this, I probably would have bought like a Hidden Power Fire or Ground, I should say. And it would have been a little bit better, because that would have hurt that Magnezone a lot. And it could have, I could have run it so I was trapping him, he was trapping me, so it was just a really good counter move that I just didn't really think about when I was in the team building. From there, when Klefki does go down, I just go on Arcanine. Arcanine is just a Life Orb set. Which does hit like a tank. I think it's mainly max speed and attack. I think it's got some EVs and some other things just to because I didn't need so much speed. But I do go for the Wheezing, and it still does. It does a significant amount of damage to Wheezing, because the Wheezings are defensive as hell. So I'm pretty happy about that, and it's pretty safe for me at this point in time just to go for another Flare Blitz. I do have to be a little bit careful, because I don't want my recoil to get down too low, especially with both Flare Blitz and Life Orb. But he does switch into his mic on top, and I do get the Intimidate, so this Flare Blitz isn't going to do as much as I would have liked it to do. which was a good play by him. It kind of leaves his Wheezing around, which is great because Wheezing's can be slightly annoying. Because of the losing too much HP, I want to switch out, and I decided this is my best time to actually switch into my Yuxi. It does have rocks, and I feel like this is going to be a really, really switch-heavy game, just by the way the few turns have sort of went. So it's sort of a good idea to get rocks up just so I can sort of stop that and it not being so annoying. He does go into his wheezing. I don't really have much to hit the wheezing with, mainly because I don't think I have any psychic or anything. I'm just running like a knockoff U-turn sort of set. So I do get my stealth rocks up as it just go back into this Magna Zone. I sort of like, I kind of don't really have a choice but to stay in at this point. So I do that as he goes out into Oatmeal. He's P2 as I do go for the knockoff. I did hopefully thinking that he would keep Magna Zone in so I can get that Choice Scarf off, because the Choice Scarf is slightly annoying. It doesn't outspeed my Scarfer, but like, I don't really have anything to hit Magna Zone with too hard. But it's good that I got the Eviolite off on the P2, because you know what they can be like. For some reason I decided to go for Toxic then. I don't know why I don't go for a move straight away as he Thunder Waves me. That kind of was annoying. I did get paralyzed on that first turn afterwards. I believe I was just going for U-turn, but it also means I would have got less damage off on Yuxi, and I could have just been a little bit more or better off in longevity, if that makes sense. But P2 is pretty much crippled now. He's really got no option but to, like, if he keeps it around, he keeps it around, but he may as well sort of sack it off, was my sort of thinking. So I did go into Heracross at this point. I know pretty much any move that I go for with Heracross, it's going to take it out. I do decide to go into my Pin Missile, just in case he was sort of expecting a change. I saw Pin Missile stab. It's also like, it will definitely take out P2, and it will do significant amount of damage for everything else. Now, afterwards I was sort of thinking about this. I was running Heracross with Moxie, and I could have actually taken it out with a close combat, got a Moxie boost, and then Mega Evolved, which could have sort of worked for me a little bit better, because I would have been at +1 at that stage. I know I'd be lower in defenses or whatever, but that's fine, because it really made a pretty significant difference when I went for this Rock Blast on Wheezing, because unfortunately, so unfortunately, the first Rock Blast did a lot, and then I was slowly watching it as it was doing more and more, and I was like, this isn't gonna kill. It was pretty like hairy at the time. Rock Blast did the most, but yeah, I was just so disappointed that didn't take him out, because it means the plane split. My Heracross is now crippled. Super frustrating. I decided to go on a Menifee at this point. I didn't think, like, I really just wanted to start wrecking house with Menifee, but I didn't see the point in sort of setting it up at this. I just kind of wanted to sort of cripple, hoping that he'd switch out and I'd get like a burn off Scold or something. I don't know what I was thinking some of this game, to be honest. But yeah, I just did go for the Scold. I don't get the burn, but it does do a significant amount to Mike. If I just go for another Scold, it's pretty easy just to get to take out Mike, which is really, really good. Menifee was a bit of a silly choice as well, now that I think about it, because Magna Zone Scarfed outspeeds it, and I don't really, it's not going to work out, because now he can just bring a Magna Zone and I have to switch out. I was sort of contemplating running the, I don't know what berry it is for Magna Zone, but when I did sort of the calcs, I kind of had to be at like over 60% anyway to survive a Thunderbolt. So when I sort of looked at it, I was like, oh no, it's not really worth it. I decided to go into Yuxi at this point. It's pretty much just, it's kind of just at a point where I need to sack it off. He does go for the Volt Switch, good play, and gives him the opportunity to go into his Jester, which is his Mega. Now, this is pretty scary. When this thing does get Mega Evolved, it can do like a significant amount to my team. Quite a scary amount, actually. And yeah, I don't like that. I did bring Miss Magius exactly for the reason to take it out. A Scarf Mismagius will outspeed this thing even if it's like fully invested when it has no speed investment. So this Mismagius is actually just HP and special attack, and it's surprisingly pretty fast. I do get the power on that turn when I was just going for U-turn, I believe. So it would have just been a switch out, a slow switch out, which is good. So it would have get me in to Mismagius without you going down. It's pretty easy for me to just go for the Shadow Ball here. It does about 80% to a not +1. And I know that I could be able to survive one Dragon Pulse, or if he went for something else, it may have been a little bit hairy. But the Calm Mind really did sort of ruin me over. And it was a good job to go for the Calm Mind at that point, because it did put him at a good... it was a good time to set up on me, basically. So I do get the Wheezing down with Mismagius, and then he does go into zone. I know he'll outspeed, but a Shadow Ball does like diddly nothing to a Magnezone, so I have to switch out. And I decided like the best point just to come into Heracross. I do survive one, but he will be faster than me because of the Scarf. And then I will go down on the next turn. I could have potentially just sacked off Menifee at that point, but I didn't. I think I feel like I needed Menifee for like the Ice Beam on Latias, so I didn't do that. He does go in here, and I was tossing up for a while what move to do, because I didn't want to go for the Hidden Power and then him switch into this, and then I know that a Hidden Power is not going to be able to do too much. So I probably should have went for the Shadow Ball, but you know, I felt like I was on the defense, and I really needed something to what's the word, to like gain momentum again. And I thought, you know, if I do that, like if I completely overpredict, I might actually lose momentum. And I should have went for the Shadow Ball in retrospect. So Menifee's not gonna, like, he's got a chance of surviving this Dragon Pulse, and I can retaliate with like an Ice Beam, and it will do a pretty big hit. But I do end up going down to a crit, which is fine. And then I go into Mismagius. Now, I was at a point. All right. We'll pause it here, and we'll talk about this. Okay. So when I was thinking about what to do, at this point, I realized I've only got Arcanine and Mismagius left at this point. He's still got Mamoswine, Zone, as well as this guy left. The only way I could possibly win, a Shadow Ball would kill Latias, but the only way I could possibly win, because if I locked myself in a Shadow Ball, he would have went into zone, and I would have like been KO'd anyway. So the only way I could have won was if he switched into zone and took the Hidden Power Fire, which would have killed him, and then I would switch out, go into like sack off Mismagius, go into Arcanine, and then I'd be able to Flare Blitz the Mamoswine, as long as it wasn't Focus Sash, which it wasn't, and then E-Speed the Latias, which would have taken it out. And that was sort of my thinking about the only way I could win this game. Unfortunately, it didn't make out the switch out to Magnezone. So that does nothing. And then I'm obviously going to go down to the Dragon Pulse. And then pretty much I've got Arcanine left at this point, and he's going to take the game. And E-Speed is just not enough to be able to take out this guy. So yeah, that was pretty much the end of the game. T-Train, you did an awesome job. Like, he really did an awesome job to beat me. I'm, you know, like, I could have done better. But you know what the best thing is about losing is that it gives you an opportunity to be better to yourself. When you do lose, you learn from your mistakes all the time. You know, like, even when you fail a test or whatever, you always learn from the mistakes and you better yourself from it. So I do have a bye this week, which is great because it gives me the opportunity to just refresh myself and go back next week and just tear up. But yeah, that's basically it. I can see my flaws, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind losing. It's a good thing, actually. And that's pretty much it from me. Thanks for watching, and see what happens. I'll catch you guys next time.